Alright, y'all liked when I nerded out last time, so we finna nerd out again. If you're not trying to learn something new today, go ahead, keep scrolling. This one a little long. I bet. Let's get into it. Every era makes the music that it needs, not just aesthetically, but like structurally as well. Somebody in the last video mentioned sound as political theory, and I low-key went on that rabbit hole, so this is a direct response to that. So yeah, a lot of the sounds and music that we produce are like direct responses to economic pressure, spatial control, survival. Jazz came from migration, racial labor market, segregation, right? Syncopation became adaptation, improvisation was like contingency planning, and then the pattern just kept repeating. West Coast rap sounds the way it does for many different reasons, but it's absolutely influenced and shaped by the effects of like urban sprawl, policing, and car culture, right? Detroit techno sounds the way it does because of like industrial collapse and futurism. Every genre is kind of like a footnote to a political moment that makes like it's like a sound, makes sound like a theory you can dance to, right? I love a lot of artists, but I'm also an ATL baby. So right now I'm gonna just speak on Atlanta, right? Atlanta's dumb versatile. You got Organized Noise and Outkast with like Speaker Box, Love Below, Clemini, Stankonia. You got Jeezy, who he just set a Guinness World Record for the largest orchestra at a hip hop concert. Crime Mob made a song that's probably gonna be made for as long as the D9 exists. Killer Mike, overly Atlanta. 2 Chainz, Pretty Girls Like Trap Music. Migos, JID be rapping. And Nudie still got a classic with EA. When I was in school, I legit heard people screaming there from Zone 6, and we were comfortably in the Lower East Side of New York. All of them people I just listed, and I'm not even like remotely scratching the surface, but that range doesn't come out of nowhere. Atlanta's development, zoning, highways, industry, and stuff like that is set up in a way that creates overlap and different worlds touching each other. Like, bro, look at Spaghetti Junction. Not really like top tier example, but a good example, right? So the sound becomes like that. It reflects that. It becomes adaptable, flexible, and uncontainable. Like, even the graffiti artists in Atlanta are adaptable. Like, might be too deep for cool, but for some of y'all that like aren't from here, you got like Coast, Pakeps, Envy, Ooze. Like, if y'all saw some of the tags they're able to get off here, it's insane, and it's very, very, very Atlanta. Like, even in my own stuff, when I'm producing or creating anything, bro, when I'm creating literally anything, even the music in the background of this video, no matter what I make, it's always gonna have a little Atlanta in it, right? And low key, a lot of that ear training and just whatever, it comes from movement. Not really shout out, but like MARTA, Amtrak, Greyhound, Peter Pan, and Buc-ee's, dog. Growing up traveling throughout the South and Northeast, looking out the window, making beats and stuff like that, I would listen to like local radio stations and wherever I was from, because like music is like a brochure of whatever place I travel to. So talking about like Houston 93.7, 90.9, 102.1, DC 95.5, 93.9 because they be playing go-go. Miami 99 jams, Philly 105.3, 88.5, and 90.1 because I love jazz. Every city got a little different swing, right? Every region leaves like a different amount or different type of space between the notes. And that same idea carries into how black people across the whole diaspora are represented throughout like film and cinema. It's not just visual, it's rhythmic representation as well. Like I said in the last video, AVE is an art form. You gotta understand the context for it. So you got stuff like semantic inversion, which is like when a word or phrase reverses its meaning to the opposite. So perfect example is like, bro, she's so bad, or you so stupid, like, or the habitual be, he be saying, they be talking, she be praying. Other stuff like consonant cluster reduction. So words like test, desk, and cold and friend turn into, yeah, I just took a test on the desk with my friend in the cold. Very subtle, but very noticeable, especially for script writers. And the amount of times I genuinely felt like a script of mine was lackluster because it was just being read by the wrong people. Stuff like that adds like a whole other level of narrative power that people like Ryan Coogler, Spike Lee, and Jordan Peele utilize to a T. And then there's nonverbal communication, which science has shown like about 93% of communication isn't even verbal at all. It's facial expressions, gestures, and tone. And in black storytelling, all of those things stack. You got the side eye, you got the stank face, you got the you got me messed up face, you got it's a whole story in itself. And it's also unique and different for every single person, which makes it even bigger than just music and film. Like, it's also about how you use your voice, especially for artists. Like, regardless of your medium, every artist has a way of seeing the world, and the work gets better when you stop trying to sound right and just start being real. That's why I'm so pro like just having hobbies outside of your main creative lane. Like, there's a poem I really like that has some cool lines like like write music like a filmmaker, design spaces like a skateboarder, drift over ones and twos like a rally driver, plan your next step like a rock climber, shoot photos like a marksman, catch flying clay like a ceramicist, thread crowds together like a seamstress. You can't lose if you forever learn, right? And I thought it was so cool because I've been skateboarding for some years now. I still got a long way to go, but way before that, and before getting more into like a creative bag, my foundation was in math and science. I was a STEM kid, and you could not tell me I wasn't gonna be an engineer or architect. The cool part is, as a skater, you gotta notice stuff like ledges and stair steps and rail spacing and the textures of the ground and stuff like that, concrete and metal, and seeing possibilities in design, which made me wonder, like, dang, like, do architects think about that? Do they like sneak in little skate spots into their stuff? Anyway, not to get too off topic, but we live in a time where like authenticity is everything. So like I said before, word is so crazy, you might as well just be yourself. And for anybody feeling resistance right now, being yourself is one of the biggest forms of rebellion that there is, dog. We consume so much content. We see somebody living a life we want, we be like, I could do better, instead of literally just doing it. So, and I say that as somebody who's guilty of it too. So action quiets that comparison. So do a social media detox if you need it. Be the version of yourself that you would be if nobody else existed that could judge you. And be that person every single day, and then literally watch how stuff starts aligning, dog. Like, anyway, I'm gonna end it there. I feel like I'm gonna talk for kind of long. I'm probably gonna go non-verbal for like 3 to 4 hours to like even that out. But anyway, love y'all. Bye.